guys, it's me Mariah. So today I'm going to be doing a full review of the Jaclyn Morphe Vault collection. So I'm starting off with Bling Boss. I'm starting off my Tarte Shape Tape just to prime my entire eyelid so I can pack on the colors and they can really pop and be very vibrant. So first I'm going in with the shade Sparks and I'm putting that all on my eye. As you can see, it is very pigmented, it blends very well, and I'm putting that on my crease and I'm going to really blend it out. This shade was absolutely gorgeous and it worked very well. Then I'm going in with this Morphe blending brush and I'm just going to use it to blend out the shadow sparks that I had packed onto my lid. As you see throughout this tutorial, I found that packing on the color first and then blending it out with a blending brush was the best method to get these colors to cooperate. Then I'm grabbing my Tarte Shape Tape again and I'm cutting that crease, honey. Yes, my favorite. I love cutting the crease. And I did my little trick where I just look up and it creates the line of where to go. Then I'm taking this Real Techniques really small concealer brush and I'm just going to use that to really cut the crease and lay down this concealer. Also, just a disclaimer, if you saw my vlog from last week, I met Desi Perkins and this is the eyeshadow look that I wore to meet her, and the moment she saw me, she automatically complimented my eyeshadow and said it was bomb AF, so that's just the tea. So I just continued to cut my crease and really lay down the color and feather it out towards the end. Then I'm going in with this really pretty shade called Ballsy, and I just put this all over my lid and it really worked best with my finger. It was very, very pigmented when I used it with my finger, so I really suggest that. And then I use that small concealer brush again to apply the shade Ballsy closer to the line and get really precise with the color because my finger was way too big to get all the way up there and in all those crevices. Then I went in with this Stila glitter liquid eyeshadow in the shade Cloud and I applied that right on top just to add more of a wow factor and make it really, really glittery. I really wanted to make this pop, so I just add that right on top. And then you know me, I have to be extra, so I went in with this Fenty Beauty Galaxy palette and I went into the shade Ultraviolet and I put that right on top. Then I used my Morphe M506 really small blending brush and I went into the shade Mystic and I just applied that to the outer corner to really deepen it up and blend that shimmer shade into the previous shade that we had before in the transition area. Then I went into the shade Berry Treasure, which has a really little like glitter aspect to it, and I just kind of added that as well to my outer crease, just to add a little more oomph to it, and I'm just trying to test out all the colors and see how they work, and everything's been blending very well so far. So this is the completed look for the Bling Boss palette in the Vault collection. As you can see, everything worked amazingly. This was by far one of my favorite palettes. Everything blended, everything was pigmented, so far, no issues. That's the tea. Then I'm going in with the Armed and Gorgeous palette. Now this palette literally scared me. It was like earth threw up on my eyes. As you can see here in the beginning, it just was blotchy. So I'm going with the shade Access, which is like a macaroni and cheese color, and I just applied that into my transition. It was very pigmented, a very yellowish, pretty color. I had no complaints about this color. It worked very nicely and blended well. Then I get into the shades Secure and Agent, these like orangey shades, and I kind of added that on top just to really deepen it up and gradually go from the yellow to the orange to the deeper colors. And as you can see, I was using my Morphe M506 brush and everything was blending really nicely together so far, and then it started to get a little bit wacky after this. And Michael Jackson is quaking because we went in with the shade Smooth Criminal next, which is like a brown color, and I wanted to really deepen up the crease, and this color was just really beautiful, and it really made my crease look really nice. Then again, I'm cutting my crease with Tarte Shape Tape because I'm going to lay down some shimmer shades, and I'm going to use this green, which is really wacky. You will see in just a minute. So I really wanted to make sure that these colors really popped and stuck to my eye and worked as best as possible. So then I go in with the shade Classified, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous shade. It's like golden with like green reflex and brown reflex. It's really, really beautiful, and I applied this with my finger, and it went on as smooth as butter, and then I just blended it out with this little blending brush, and it was a really beautiful shade. One of my favorite shades in the Armed and Gorgeous palette. Then I go into the shade Guilt Trip, and I just add a little bit of that on top just to add a little more oomph to it and see how these shades are really working all together. And then I'm about to go into Coin, which is a very yellowy shade, and I added that towards the middle, almost to the outer. Then I took the shade VIP to add it to my inner corner, but it didn't really do much to make it pop. Here's where it gets wacky. I took the shade Top Secret, which is one of the shades I was really scared about because it looked like it was going to be really patchy, and I applied it and it just got really weird. This was the only shade in this palette that was not working for me, and it became really difficult. It was not blending, it was just sticking to certain areas of my eye. As you see here, this is horrible. It got so bad and I was getting so frustrated because there was no rescuing this. I did not know what to do. I was blending so hard on my eye to try to get it to move, and look, nothing. So then I take my Perception palette, which is ColourPop and Makeup Shadeless palette, and I took the green shade in there and I just piled that right on top to cover that mistake I just made. That's kind of embarrassing that I had to go to a different brand to cover up this mistake that Morphe had with that one shade. But that was the only shade I had an issue with, and I wouldn't really use this green a lot anyways, so it wasn't that big of a deal. So this is the completed look. As you can see, this was not really my favorite look. I was not feeling this green, but that was it. When my eyes were open, it looked really gorgeous, but the second I closed it, you saw that unblended green and it was bad. Next up is the Ring the Alarm palette, which I love. I live for oranges and reds. So I go in with the shade Rush, and I just apply that and pack it onto my crease, my outer corner, and I'm going to really blend this in. This look was by far one of my favorites. I love the colors and the theme of this palette, and everything works very well. So I'm just going to continue to pack this shade on using a Morphe brush, and then I'm just going to blend it to the gods. Then going in with the shade Alert, which is a really bright orange. I just added that right on top to add more brightness, make it brighter, make it pop, and transition into that Rush shade that we had just applied before. And as you can see, these two shades are blending together very well. So there was no issues with the blending, everything was working out well. Then I went in with this shade Mugshot, which is like a caramel, deep brownish orange color, I don't even know. And I added that to my eye, the outer and the inner corner, and then I connected it in the crease, and I was just kind of blending and testing things out. Then I went in with the shade Framed, which is like a deep burgundy color, and I put that in my outer corner, my inner corner, and I connected it by blending through the crease. And I really wanted to deepen it up. This shade was beautiful. It worked very well with the other shades, and it was blending very nicely. So there was no issues with that. I did notice that it was becoming a little bit patchy on the outer corner. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it wasn't a deal breaker. It was okay. My other eye looks so unblended looking at it in this video right now, but I swear it looked really nice in person. Then I'm creating a halo eye, and I'm just adding some Tarte Shape Tape to the middle, and I'm using this stained concealer brush because that green will not come out. And I'm just blending that out in the middle to create a halo effect. Then I'm going in with the shade Boom, which is like a coppery shade, and I'm adding that right on top. This shade was absolutely beautiful and so pigmented. I added that right in the middle. Then I took the shade Siren and I added that by the inner corner and the outer corner, and I just kind of connected that to the halo effect white going on to really blend that out, and I add it on the top too to get rid of any harsh lines that may seem unblended. And then I go in with my Morphe M506 to really buff everything out. Then I go in with the shade Lolly, which is a little bit lighter, and I kind of put that on top to see if it would brighten it. So that was it for the completed look. This one was my favorite. I felt fierce. I loved this one. I loved the colors, and I felt really beautiful, and everything worked nicely. I'm going in with Dark Magic, and this palette had me shook. Oh my god, I did not expect it to be as great as I thought it was. So I'm going with the shade Poof, which is a very light color. It doesn't really appear on me, and I kind of just put that in the transition area just to kind of buff everything out and get it ready. Then I took the shade Potion, which I swore was going to be blotchy, but the second I applied it, it just looks beautiful. It really blended out, and it was a really nice color. Like, thank Jesus it was not blotchy, because I would have probably cried. And like I had said earlier, I tried to pack the colors on first and then blend it out. I feel like that worked best. Here I was clearly just blending to the gods, but it still did the job, and this color wasn't the worst. It also wasn't the best, but it did its job, and I'm happy with it. Then I went into the shade Busted, which is this blue color, on my Mikasa E230 brush, and I was super excited for this color because it looked absolutely beautiful. I packed it on all over my lid, and it was so pigmented, blended so well. I literally love it. Like, it came out so nice, and I'm super impressed. Then I took the shade Inside Job, which is like a deep green shade, and I kind of put that in between the Busted and Potion shades just to really buff it and blend it. So it kind of went from like a light green to a darker green to like this blue color, and I really liked the way it helped that transition. Then I'm just taking my M504 brush from Morphe, and I'm really just buffing out all those shades, and as you can see, they blended really nicely with each other. There was no patchiness going on, and I was super impressed and happy with it. Then I took the shade Trickery, which is like an emerald green color, and I added that all over my lid. You can't really see it that well just because I had the Busted color already on there, but I just wanted to add a little bit of shimmer to it, and it was really pretty, and I was really impressed by it, so I thought it was super cute. Here is where the magic literally happens. I took the shade Power Cut, which is like this really silver shade, and I added that right on top of the Trickery shade, and it like transformed my eye. Like, this is the most beautiful shadow ever. It really made my shadow pop, added such a nice shimmer and glitter to it, and it was beautiful. Oh my god, it was amazing. And then I'm just blending everything out to make it seamless, and that is it for my Dark Magic look. I love the way it came out, and everything worked amazingly. Overall, I loved all of the palettes except for the Armed and Gorgeous. I just feel like that palette I can do without. The colors aren't really my kind of vibe. Everything else worked very well. Some shades maybe became a little blotchy, but overall I loved the collection and everything worked very well for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up. I'll see you guys in my next video.